My name is Dave Wilhelm. I'm a professor at Wayne Technical Community College in Raleigh, North Carolina. I teach business courses in both seated and online formats. This video is one in the series to try to ensure that my online students get roughly the same information as my seated students. This topic is on goals and objectives. Topics will cover definitions and differentiation, the requirements for an objective, which can be kind of remembered as SMARTY, a couple examples, and one exercise for you. Goals are generally high level and kind of general. When do well in school, sell a lot of shoes, run really fast, can't really tell whether you met them or not. Whereas an objective is very detailed, specific. There's no doubt when you're done whether you met that objective or not. The easiest way to tell is that a goal or an objective is if you can tell whether you met it or not. If you're not sure, probably a goal. If it's very clear, it's an objective. We're not helped in the real world by the fact that they're used interchangeably. For instance, your objective, specific, is to sell more cars. That's not specific. Your goal, not specific, is to increase efficiency by 15% this week. Okay, that's pretty specific, but it was called the goal. The context usually makes it clear. Regardless of what you call it, if it's really vague, it's a goal. If it's really specific, it's an objective. Certainly the most famous, inspiring goal, which I might consider an objective, was President Kennedy's goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth by the end of the decade. Probably should have been him or her, though at the time most of the astronauts were male. I personally really like the part about returning safely to the Earth. I thought that was great. Here's some short examples where a goal might be to be home early, whereas the objective is be home by 10:30. The goal is to brew some tea. The objective is to brew 2 cups of chai spice tea, and maybe by 4:30 this afternoon, and you do it. Let's do lunch sometime. Let's meet for lunch tomorrow at Olive Garden at 12:30. So those are the general, slightly vague goals, and these are the more specific objectives. SMARTY, nice way to remember it. S, specific, precise definition of outcomes. Notice it's the outcome or the result, not how you get there, though there might be some elements of how we get there as well. Measurable, quantifiable, some numbers attached to it. How many, how fast, how much. Attainable but challenging. Relevant, contributes to the organization's overall mission. That's all I'm going to say about these two, because unless you're talking about a specific organization, who knows if it's attainable, challenging, relevant. T, some time element, and usually this is a deadline or a specific period of time. I assign to an individual. That individual may have some other individuals which have some objectives, but somebody's in charge. So we're going to focus not so much on SMARTY as some T, but SMARTY's easier to remember. And unless you're in an organization, you can pretty much have to ignore the attainable and relevant. Whoops, okay. Goal is to sell a lot of shoes. Fair enough. Objective, the specific part, is men's Adidas cross-training shoes. Measurable, 350 pair. Time frame, first quarter, January to March. And the individual responsible is the regional sales manager, who is certainly going to talk to the district sales managers, who will talk to the store sales managers, who will talk to the salespeople, and everybody's going to have a piece of this overall objective. If you're in a class, this is one you hear a lot about, do well in school, that nice vague goal. To be specific, perhaps just the courses in your major. In our case, it would be business, economics, and marketing. 3.25 or better. Yep, that's measurable. They can nail us on that one if we don't make it. The academic year, 2014 to 2015, and I guess that includes fall and spring semesters. Not clear if it includes the summer or not, so maybe that's not as good as I thought it was. And the individual responsible, of course, is the student. Okay, here's a short exercise for you. Don't overthink this. Think for a few seconds. How would you convert this goal to an objective in specific, measurable, time element, and individual responsible? Pause the video if you want to think about it. Otherwise, here we go. Specific league games. So not the championship games, the postseason games, just the regular league games. Win at least 14. Okay, we should be able to tell if we did that or not. The time frame, the spring 2015 season, and the individual responsible is the coach. Once again, if it's a team situation, like selling shoes, a relay race, or a volleyball team, the coach is going to have some other objectives for the players. Maybe not how to win the games, but some performance objectives, number of kills, number of successful saves, number of successful sets, and so forth. I hope this gave you a brief and somewhat helpful introduction to goals and objectives. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email me. Otherwise, have a great day.